I like it.
Welcome to the 2026 League Draft. Here we go. Typically the league champ starts off first, but I decided to take the gentlemanly route and give Ferro all the advantages that he could get, and I'm going to let him pick first here. So let's go ahead and share the screen. Let's take a look at the league. And Pharaoh, you get your pick of the litter here. Here's the league. This is Dynasty Daddy. This is right now the trade value chart. So it takes into account all assets, but I've got them ranked here, top to bottom in terms of contender view. But why don't you just go ahead and talk us through what you were thinking for your first pick? Who do you want to face in the league more than any other team?
Yeah, so obviously I'm trying to make my schedule as easy as possible. Um,
Yeah,
it
smart.
the more times I can face someone who's going to give me easier wins, and I hope this person doesn't take too much offense, but the more I see him, the more wins I'm going to get. So I'm going to take Faye. Um,
Okay. Yep, good pick. Good pick.
yeah,
Talk me.
so a couple of worry people. Got Ray Davis in there, Ja'Cory
Yep.
Krosky Merritt, Tyreek
Yep.
Hill. Probably going to be a monster.
Yep.
JJ McCarthy already looking good. And I
Now
think
these
Drake London
are
really started to show his true colors at the end. So
these are star players. So what makes you want them to
yeah.
have in your league with guys like that in the lineup?
Well, it's just I think that at the end of the day, he's going to have a start sit problem.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
are you going to start over? Trey Harris or Drake London, and you never know. And Drake London's been pretty healthy most of the year, so you expect
Yep.
that to
Fair.
carry through. But freak things happen. So, but I'm going to stick with Faye. I feel pretty confident about that. I feel pretty comfortable.
Fair point. Fair point. Any concerns about the 101?
No, no, he'll try and trade that away and probably get nothing for it. He's pretty good about doing that for us, so I'm
Yep.
counting on that again.
Okay. Understandable. Understandable logic. Okay. So I'll go now. Who do I want to face the most? Let's go all the way down here. I'm going to go with Cote. Cote's got to be the
Yeah,
next pick.
honestly,
Yeah.
it was between the two of them for me.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the 102 and the 104, but if you add those together, he's only got the 106. So if you think about
Yep,
it that way, it's just a no-brainer. Tyler
it's
Warren,
math is
um,
math.
for sure. Tyler Warren, nice young player, long blonde hair, kind of fucking weird if you ask me.
Yeah, who would do
And
that?
then let's go down it. Puka, he's all right. I never would have wanted to trade for him or trade him away or anything like that. So not too much
No,
interest there. But
I
if you
don't think
come
he
down
was
to the
on anybody's
bottom,
radar.
I mean, Demario Douglas, that guy can stay on his feet for like 5 yards at a time. That's a little intimidating, so I am worried about that. But yeah, you never know.
Yep,
And
yep, I got
then
that.
someone like James Conner, um, it's risk
His injury
reward.
didn't look that bad at all.
It's it's risk it's risk reward for me here. But what I think with this one is like with a guy like Connor, like he could play or he could not play. So I'm kind of banking on him not playing. But if he does play, he's got a good quarterback at the helm with Kyler Murray. Um, and he's going to get all the starts next year. So again, it's a bit of a risk, but I'm just going to take a chance here, and I'm going to go with Cote.
Yeah,
Some good
the guy
players.
still at the sunrise of his career. There's nothing but
Absolutely,
blooms ahead for him.
absolutely. And as long as there's no new releases or anything like that for Call of
Yeah,
Duty, should be fine. Okay, now the third pick coming up to you, boy. What's your interest here? Talk me through it.
you know, um, this one was pretty easy too. Not a lot of back and forth. I'm going to take Lucia.
Okay, yeah,
His
yeah,
running backs have a little bit of juice with Shipley and Sean Tucker, and then
yeah.
Keon Coleman really came into his own this year. I know a lot of people were banking really heavy on him not doing that, but here we are.
Sure,
So
sure.
just like every other first round pick, he came to play, and he showed us what the Bills are capable of when they use him every game. And
Absolutely.
as long as he's they put him in every lineup, which how do you not? So
Yeah.
yeah, and JC
No,
Royals is another guy who every time he's on the field it's just like electricity, man. It's
absolutely.
but at the end of the day, those are only four players. Those are only four players that he's got that he can
Yep.
start. And there's a whole starting lineup to fill, and everybody else is just cannon fodder,
And
I think.
And I believe it was Lord who said, we want to be royals, you know? And
Yeah.
it's a good point. Now, any concerns here that he does have a first round pick and a second round pick in 2028? Any concerns on how that could impact his roster this year?
Well, he's done a great job drafting so far.
Yeah,
He
sure,
picked up
sure.
Keon Coleman, which was again, wow.
Yeah.
Um, the guy really likes to hold on to his picks. Um, but at the end of the day, what picks does he have again?
Well, he's got the 103. Now, this is interesting. He's got the
Yep.
103, the
Yep.
106, and a 107. And when you look at those, you
Oh,
might think, oh, that's nice. But two of those
it's
are
only the
prime numbers.
116.
Two of those are prime numbers, and those things
Oh,
are
true.
tricky. You got to watch
Yep.
out for those.
Yep. They're usually bad juju.
Yeah. Well, you can't say that
Good point.
anymore. There's a lot going on in the Middle East.
Shit.
Okay, let's move on to the next one here. Let me get my list here. Who's left? I don't know if that screen is sharing. Okay. Let's move on now. Am I sharing my screen? No. Let's share it again.
I guess huh.
Back here now. Okay, now I'm going to the bit of the north of Ireland here. I'm
No,
gonna take um I'm gonna take Lakasic, I believe his name is. Lakasic,
hard pronounce it.
yep. Let's see. Let's start left to right. Sorry for all of you are watching my screen here. Um, Jaden Daniels, I've a bit to be scared of there. Um, but his elbows seem to be now typically the elbow is a joint that's unidirectional. His seem to
You
be
want it to go
bidirectional.
out and in. That's kind of it, right? Just out and in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's got a bit of
Yep.
a bidirectional elbow there.
Yep.
CJ Stroud actually, pretty nice boy. A better year this year. And then as we go on, I'm in the middle now. Now there's some teams I don't want to play. I didn't want to pick like a sick first because he's got some, pretty solid players, like the Tony Pollard and
Yeah. So yeah.
and it
Dude, big Tony knows how to bring it.
absolutely. And
That
with
guy's.
an offense like that, they're pretty non-stoppable.
Yep.
And then you've got, I do actually have some slight concerns about Justin Jefferson, and it's a little bit risky, but I don't, on an honest note here, I don't think JJ McCarthy's much worth much, and Brian Thomas might be the fourth best receiver on that team. So who knows there? Um, but yeah, not much for draft capital this year. So I'm not too concerned, but it wouldn't be the first team I picked. So yeah, that's all I got for the Lacazette team. Would you like to take your next?
Yeah, yeah, I'll take it. I'm gonna take Mr. William. You know,
Okay, okay, yeah, sure.
Big Willie, as they call him.
Let's take a
You know,
look at.
this is where the roster's starting to scare me a little bit.
Sure,
You got the real up and comers. You got Shadur. You got Jack Beck. Jack Beck, another guy who went to a wide open receiver room and just took it, just absolutely
absolutely.
took over. Um, you know, Derrick Henry. He's got you know so many years left, and a coaching system that just he barely got to run for 200 yards at all this year because he was in the mix. So with a new coach, a guy at his point in his career loves to start over.
Now
Just loves to give everything a fresh try.
he did put up 40 points in week 17. So the
That's what I'm
thing to
saying.
be
He's just getting the
concerned
wheels
with
going.
here is if you face him in week 17 every week, you're probably going to lose.
Well, yeah. Well, luckily, week 17, that's usually I'm playing your guys. So
Oh, that's fair. Fair enough. Fair
yeah,
enough.
it's
I'm
keep
kind
my
of
fingers
lose.
crossed for that one.
I'm kind of losing track here with the shtick. If we should be complimenting or not complimenting the players,
I'll be honest. I'm lost as well. I'm I'm
we'll just keep going and see how it
I'm on the
flows.
fence here, but Mason Taylor is a guy. He's on the Jets. Jets is a really powerful team.
Sure,
Real
sure.
real powerhouse.
Yeah, yeah,
They've done nothing but have a successful franchise for years now. So he'll have a good sophomore year. So
yeah,
definitely a little bit worried about him, but with what's left on the board, this is what I got to do.
yeah. That's true. And between Lamar Jackson and Jackson Dart, they do have one relatively stable spinal cord and skull, and
Yep.
you
Yep.
can't. You can't ask for everything from everyone, but if you combine them, you got a good back and a good head. So that's
You
all
know,
you can really ask for
you
these
say the only
days.
thing that's scarier than one Jackson is two Jacksons. So, you know,
I don't get it.
not me either. It's okay.
Okay, fair enough. Or if there's five Jacksons, you're probably going to get beat by your dad. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Who is left? Um, all right. I didn't want to have to do this, but I guess I'll have to take uh Zalor? Zalor? I always thought it was Zalor, but then I heard Thomas Lucia say Zalor in one of the videos. So now I'm not. Oh, wait. No, I think I just said that backwards. Anyways, okay. Caleb Williams. Oh, the Iceman. I'm cold just thinking about him. Scary
Yep,
boy.
yep.
Okay. Philip Rivers. You never know. You never know
Never
what could
know.
happen over there.
Never
Yep.
know.
I mean,
You know.
honestly, LA, the Chargers could call him at any moment because the fucking half spine of Justin Herbert is still in Foxborough Stadium.
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay, and then as we go down the lineup, things to be scared of. Jonathan Taylor, great boy. I don't really know what to make of him. Don't know what to make of the Colts.
Yep.
RJ Harvey. Now, this is a little bit of the point where I'm still confused about our shtick, but RJ Harvey could be kind of nice. I think
You
that
could, yeah.
another year in that offense and getting some more check downs, he could be a valuable PPR receiver. Woody Marks,
Yep.
I think, is like, I don't know, he's like a 29-year-old rookie. Yeah,
That's
if I'm
gonna, yeah. Who knows what Houston does too? They could come out and draft three more running backs, or Mixon could come back from his cave
fair enough.
or whatever he's been hiding.
I don't know what's happening with Mixon. Okay, and then as far as the rest of the roster is concerned, um, not too much going on this year. But but if you look down here, he's got some nice build up of 2027 round three draft picks. And that's something when
Yep.
you're looking at a team, it's like, you know, you know, everything is so complex. Like a butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil and a monkey gets shot in Cincinnati. There's just like combinations of things that you can't control in this world.
Yep.
And when
Yep.
a team has 2027 third round picks, that's going to motivate them throughout the year. So it's a bit intimidating, and that's why I've left him for this late for this late in the draft. And
Well, especially for this 2026 year, those 2027 picks are gonna, they could come back and bite you for this year. We know we'd
absolutely, and
shuffle up the leagues every year, but those 27 picks,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, they skyrocket in value. Like
oh,
believe me, boy. Everybody's talking about 2027. So you never know. You never know what effect that'll have. Okay, your turn
sure.
now.
All right. So for my last pick, and this is the one that I really didn't want to make, but final two. I'm taking Story. So I'll be stuck facing that absolute powerhouse that I don't want to deal with. But the guy's got some absolute cannons on there. Tua Tagovailoa
Speaking of
had a
absolute
great
cannons,
year.
did you see the housemaid with Sydney Sweeney?
No, but boy, I don't know if any
No,
cannons on his team can compete with those.
me neither, but I keep watching that 10-second clip I've seen on the internet. I had to buy a new VPN for it. Okay, sorry to cut you off. Keep going. Shalom.
That was if I'm gonna get cut off, I hope it's for more of that.
That's what the baby said to the rabbi.
So
Keep going now.
yep. So yeah, between Tua, Cam Ward living up to that 101 hype. Um, I wrote down
Yeah.
Allen. I don't know who I was talking about there. Um,
Is it
was it
not
Braylon Allen?
somebody's cat's name? Let me close out the list. Let me share. It's my internet. I've got fucking Elon fucking Musk's Starlink.
Well, you're on a beach. There's not a lot of
It's
Wi-Fi at the
bad.
beach.
It's bad service. Like, okay. I got to Braylon Allen.
Yep.
Then it cut
Okay.
out.
Okay. So yeah, Braylon Allen. You know, a guy who could be pretty concerning on a powerhouse offense where they pretty rarely play from behind. So they're going to be trying to run out a lot, a lot of clock. It's going to give him tons of opportunities. Juwan Jennings, a guy who, he seems pretty normal. Yeah, Tyron Tracy, I think, he could come in, dethrone Scatabo. Scatabo, I don't think the Giants like Scatabo at all. So I think that's
No,
going to
it
be
doesn't seem to fit with the culture.
no, that's going to be Wide open for him for the taking. Mika Ibuka, I think, showed us exactly what he's made of at the end of that year. So, he's a scary asset to look at. Um,
Absolutely.
and then, you got um, Williams and Johnson, and is it Theo Johnson's just, he's a tight end on the Giants, which is a recipe for success.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he's got
Well,
basically every pick.
yeah. Would you look at
Um,
this litany?
it's so he could liquidate those at any point and really, really turn something around.
I tell you what, just looking at these draft picks makes me want to liquidate in my shorts now. I will say
Yeah.
this, shtick aside, it's been a breath of fresh air doing business
Yep.
with Storytime and having that team be open for business. I mean, he's got a direction, they've
Yep.
got a direction. I'll give them both credit. Um, but yeah, I can see why you'd be nervous about them. Okay, so that leaves my last team now. This is a team that I am just shaking in my boots. Um, so I'm going to save them for last, as we both did. Drake May, absolute stud, unbelievable boy,
Yep.
MVP, second place season. What else can you ask for? And the good thing is like the depth that he has at quarterback in the Superflex
The
league is
quarterback depth is just wow. It's impressive.
especially in a super flex league. It's like
Yep.
you love to see something like this. I mean,
Yeah.
why in the world would you spend the roster spot on a third quarterback when you could have someone like an Audric Estime or a Keandre
That's
Lambert Smith taking off your
exactly.
bench?
Guys
So
just got the vision.
absolutely. So looking down now, it's actually got like a pretty good competitive running back starter spot. Kyron Williams and DeAndre Swift. That's actually pretty darn
Yeah.
nice now, boy.
Yeah.
But what most people aren't talking about, and I think we're going to start seeing this on headlines of AP News, is Devin Neal. Devin
Yeah.
Neal, the absolute speedster out of the college that he went to, is just unbelievable. And with Kamara
With
turning
two
seven,
first names, you know that he's a recipe
yeah,
for trouble.
that's a great point. Kamara's turning 94 this year. So Devin Neal's going to step right into the spotlight and he's going to just shock him up. He's going to shock him up with shock. And I'm just scared of it. And then as we go down the wide receiver list, this is something that if you pulled, 30 GMs in the NFL, they would say, yo, if we could choose the best wide receiver sixes on the roster, these would be them. So
Yeah.
that just it speaks for
His
its.
ability to scout has been just phenomenal. I mean, Lambert Smith, that guy, you know, talk about finding a diamond in the rough. And I'm not sure
Absolutely,
what patch of rough he even came out of because I haven't even heard this name before. That's how good at scouting he is. But he's
absolutely.
just ahead of the game.
And now you've got the thing most people don't talk about is the true wide receiver one on the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's Dallas Goedert.
Yep.
And high powered offense, consistent offense, an
Yeah.
offense in
Offense
which
that puts up points.
the coordinator has just been the same through the years. That never happens. You see these successful teams where they've got a coordinator and they leave, and there's this turbulence when that happens, right? But in this instance, just absolutely, it's the same year after year. You know
Yeah.
what you're going to expect.
Why
Incredible.
why fix what isn't broken, It's just
Absolutely. Yeah. And
same
then
time.
and similar to my point earlier now, like he's got a 2027 round one pick. Like who
Yeah.
wouldn't kill for this 2027 round one pick? Um,
Yeah.
I think I got Australian there for a second.
You did a
So,
little bit.
so in this whole build, all of these players, Jameson Williams, he's going to be thinking to himself, holy crap, I could be replaced next year. I could be
Yeah.
replaced by that guy on Alabama or that guy on Ohio State. I forget their names, but everyone's so excited about him. He could be replaced by Arch Manning, but if that happened, he would
Yeah.
naturally he'd have to drop one of his quarterbacks. You won't
Yeah,
want to
you can
say
have both.
you wouldn't want to say three.
Yeah.
So all in all, it's just a ball club. It's
Yep.
it's one that I am very intimidated by, and one that I wouldn't want to play. So that wraps up our draft preparation. And do you have any other notes or any other things you want to share with the audience?
No, just again the depth, the amount of picks that Cloutier has. It's just that's a scary one to have, and the future's bright there. So I just
Absolutely.
I can't hit on that enough.
Look,
How
look at that lineup.
look at that, just
105. If you subtract 105 from 206, you end up with 101. He's got
that's
the
true.
101 basically.
I didn't even think of that. That's a
He's
good point.
basically got the 101,
Yeah,
which if I could give all of the money back from last year's championship and this year's championship and the money I got on top of that for getting the back-to-back championship, if I could give all of that back and swap rosters with Clue, I would. But
yeah.
unfortunately,
I wouldn't even blame you.
because of
Wouldn't
my
even blame you.
honor, it's not the position that I'm in. But for that
Got
reason,
it.
he was chosen last.
Yep.
So here we
I get
go.
where Luce is coming from.
Let's shall we read off the final divisions
Yeah.
here? And they were drafted entirely in that order. Um
Yep.
okay, so division 1 would be me,
Yep.
Sean, Zalor, Zaller, Cote, Lukasic, and Cloutier.
Yep.
Division 2 would be Ferro, Faye, Thomas, Story, and Will. Names TBD. Records TBD. Fun
Yep.
guaranteed. Any other notes from you,
That's all I
compadre?
got. That's
All
all I
right.
got. Out here in pirate space, it gets lonely, but I'm waiting, ready for next year, ready for this draft, and let's just see where the stars take me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your urgent attention to this matter. I think Faye will only watch it if I sign off like that.
That's true. Yeah, I think so.
That's Trump's truth social sign off.
Well, you see.
Today, we've got a very important message. Okay. See you later.
See ya.